Hey again, it's Christina from Sunshine and Flora. So today I am inside doing a few projects. I'm going to be pinching some Snapdragons, so I thought I would share that with you guys. And then I also have quite a few things that I need to be transplanting. I have a few echinechea that I need to transplant. I have some daisies I started for seed, and then my honeywort are going crazy, which I will show you. The germination is just outstanding. I did find out that when I put the honeywort on heat mats, they kind of germinated, but then once I took them off the heat mats just to see if anything else would happen, they totally came to life. So I will show you guys those because I have so much honeywort, which is exciting. But the first thing I want to do is go ahead and pinch these Snapdragons. Now, I pinch my Snapdragons every single year, and what it does is it will promote side shoot growth and promote branching so that you get not just one single stem from your Snapdragon plant, you get multiples, and it will continue to branch all season long. Now, I will zoom in when I actually do this, but some of my Snapdragons, it looks like this particular variety, they're kind of drying at the top, which that happened with some at home. I've only been fertilizing half strength and their leaves are yellow. So I know it's not a shortage of fertilizer, and I don't think that my grow lights would do that. So I wonder if they kind of just dried out and then the top started browning. Either way, the rest of the plants look fine, and some of them are already getting little side shoot growths, probably because this is dying off, then it's telling the plant to make more. So I think they're going to be totally fine. But basically, I'm just going to go in and I'm going to be clipping the top off. Now, I am going to be cutting above the second set of true leaves. I don't want to go down too far. So the first set of leaves that comes out on your Snapdragon when it germinates is, I think those are called the cotyledons. You scientific people can tell me if that's wrong, but those are not your true leaves. The second set of leaves is your first set of true leaves. So I'm basically going up to the third set of leaves, or the second set of true leaves, and that is where I am clipping off. And that is going to cut off a nice top, but it's still going to give me a nice tall plant. So let me zoom in for you guys so that you can see this a little bit closer. All right, so we're going to focus on these in the front here. I'm not going to move my tray so that it's nice and in focus for you. This is a Madame Butterfly mix. The other side I have is the Costa Apricot. And you can see there's one set of leaves down here, which is the first set. Here's another set and another set. So this is a second set of true leaves. So I'm just going to take my scissor, kind of move it down the stem right on top of that set of leaves and clip that off. And I'm just going to go along and do that with all of these. And see, that's just taking the top off. And some of these, I can already see the side shoots growing. Both of these. And these are darker leaves, so that makes me think those are going to be a darker Snapdragon, where this is a little bit lighter of a leaf. So these may be red. You can also tell by the underside, see how the underside of that leaf is dark, so that's probably a red. And see how the underside of this leaf is light, so that will be a lighter color. That's always kind of fun to see your seed tray have a mixture. So I'm just going to go through this whole tray. I'm going to pinch all of them, and then we're going to move on to transplanting my seedlings. All right, this whole tray is done. It always just freshens it up a little bit, you know, makes it look a little bit fuller because they're all the same height now. And here is the big pile of tops. I will probably, whoops, I dropped one in here. I will probably just go throw these in my compost pile, These were actually just freshly watered yesterday, so I don't want to water them because I don't want anything to be oversaturated. But these will just go right back under my grow lights and continue to grow on. And like I said, some of them are already showing just a little bit of growth right where the leaf meets the stem. But now that these are pinched, I would say in the next couple days, I'm going to see all of them starting to put on just a little bit of growth. And then they'll all be branching by the time I plant them outside. All right, I'm gonna set these aside. I'm gonna get my containers and then grab, I think we'll do the echinacea next and the daisies next. So for those of you that watch my videos, you probably saw one of my prior videos where I said I had a horrible germination rate for my craspedia and my asters. Well, I actually restarted them and put both of them under my grow lights, but not on a heat mat. These are my asters. Oh my gosh. Do those not look absolutely perfect? I'm gonna let these get a little bit bigger and then I will be transplanting these into probably like a 24 cell tray. There's probably more than 24 plants here. I might have to just transplant them into a 72 cell tray. Oh my gosh, I maybe have had too much coffee today. My craspedias, and I will put a picture up on the screen for you guys. I started those the same way and I transplanted them at home this weekend. I actually ended up putting them in a tray with some Bells of Ireland. I did not do very good on the Bells of Ireland this year, as you can see, but my craspedia, my second round, germinated beautifully. So I transplanted those and I have almost a full 72 cell tray, minus a couple rows where the Bells of Ireland are, of craspedia. So I am thrilled to have those for my garden, but I'm also thrilled to have these asters. These are a salmon aster from Baker Creek, so I can't wait to see how these grow. Anyway, let's move on to the daisies and echinacea. These trays look really sad. They just dried out so fast for me. I watered them a few days ago. I came back this morning, which is Monday, and some of them have dried out again, so I don't have very many plants to transplant. I don't know, maybe 10. That's okay though, because I do have these same varieties out in my winter sowing, which should do well. And I honestly, they are gonna be perennials, and so I don't need a ton. So if I get 10 new perennial plants from seed, that's gonna be great. So to transplant these, I'm gonna put these, well, first of all, I need a bottom tray to put these in. And I like to save all my 4-inch nursery pots that I get annual flowers in, because these are perfect for potting up things like this. And I'm just gonna be using a regular potting soil. I think this is the Black Gold brand. Honestly, this is just what my local hardware store actually had that was not frozen this time of year. So I'm gonna fill this little 4-inch cup, tamp it down a little bit, pretty much make a little hole. Oh, I need to go grab my little thing that I used to get seedlings out. So this is the handiest little tool. This came in a little seed starter kit. I have it linked in my Amazon link down below. You can use either end, but it is super easy to just pluck your seedling out. Whoa, there's 2 in here. Whoa, the roots on this. So I don't know if you guys can see this. This is a daisy. Here's the plant. Here is the root. Crazy. So I'm just gonna put this way down in my soil. Then you wanna make sure to get the entire root in here. And I will zoom in on the next one for you. And then tamping the soil around it. And he looks tiny right now, but this will help it grow on much larger. And that root was so long. This is a good size pot for this. And this will be a nice size pot. I know it looks really big, and I could have put it in something a little bit smaller, but chances are I'd have to pot it up again anyway. So I might as well just do it once. So let me move the camera closer so I can show this to you guys. Just gonna tamp down the soil a little bit. Then we're gonna make a nice hole in the middle with whatever this is called. And then here is the daisy that I plucked out. These honestly are also a little dry right now, so these are gonna get watered in really good. But I'm gonna just take this tool and push the roots down in, and then tamp it in the plant, and that is done. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of these daisy and echinacea planted, then we're gonna move on to that honeywort. I also need to grab some more tags to make sure I label these. I think I will just mark one plant of each because I know what they are going to be. The echinacea is the Paradiso mix. The other echinacea that I have out in my winter sowing is the mellow yellow, so I will have two different varieties. All right, I'm gonna get going on this. Okay, so this is done. These look so much better. I have 12 plants here. I have 4 of the daisies and 8 of the echinacea, and a couple of them honestly were a little smaller and I was just gonna pitch them, but they had long root systems on. So you never know. I will be happy if I have 12 new perennial plants to plant out in my garden because these will take up a good chunk of space. So to water these first, oops, I see a little bit of root still sticking out on this guy. Gotta get those in there. So first, just to settle the plant, I'm gonna mist the top of the soil in on all of these. But then I'm gonna be bottom watering these. All right, so the top soil is misted. I have a little bit of water left in my watering can. I'm just gonna put, maybe a half inch of water in here. And then that soil from the bottom is gonna soak that up. This soil already had a little moisture in it, so it wasn't dried out by any means, but that will just give these a nice refresh. These are going to go in my windowsill. I have some huge windows. I'll throw a picture up on the screen. I currently have my dahlia tubers and some strawberry cuttings. They pretty much get sun all day long and they're looking good. So I have one more spot left in my windowsill. These are gonna go in there and this is where they are going to live until they go out into my greenhouse. All right, next project, honeywort. Okay. Here's my honeywort. Did I tell you that this was growing good, or did I tell you that this was growing good? This is like crazy. Since I did not have good germination on my first round of honeywort, I decided to start these extra heavy and put 2 to 3 seeds per cell. I'm pretty sure that they all came up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull these, separate them. I'm gonna put one back in each of these cells. I'm gonna start a whole nother tray. But let me show you the other tray of honeywort I have. Also, on this side, this is Poor Man's Orchid. I also have multiple seedlings coming up in each cell of this, so I'm probably gonna go ahead and thin this today too. So this is the other honeywort. This tray actually is super dry, so I really need to water this, but I'm gonna transplant this out. This is a feverfew, which is looking good. And this is a white mignonette. I did not have the best luck starting mignonette this year. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plants in here. I started a really small batch because I've never grown it before and I don't even know if I'm going to like it. So 7 plants, that'll be fine. I have some more started somewhere else. And then if I really end up liking it this year, I'll just figure it out and start a lot more next year. But these are the 2 trays that I'm going to be working with. I think I'm going to set this on the floor and hydrate this first. That way these will pull apart easier. So we'll tackle this one first. So I got my seed tray full, put my tag back in here. I decided not to fill these cells all the way just because I'm gonna need to make room for these big seedlings. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take this tool. I really should know the name of this tool so I can call it something. But I'm just going in and I'm making a big hole right in the center of the cell And then I'm gonna set these seedlings down in. And then, okay, so somewhere along the line when I was dividing these, my camera card ran out. So I have a new camera card in. I also need to get my soil a little handier here. I think I'm going to have a lot of honeywort. Look at the root on this. That is so long. So this one's gonna go back in the cell that it came out of. So basically, I'm gonna put the root all the way in there. And full disclosure, I have never grown honeywort before. So I am hoping that splitting these and replanting them does not hurt them. But as of right now, they are so healthy. So if they're not a plant that, you know, if they're not a really sensitive plant as far as roots being disturbed, they should be just fine. We'll find out. I will make sure to share with you guys how they do. But I have the first one separated. This is one cell that I separated. I put the original back in here and then transplanted these in here. So I have 4 plants. So let's pull the next one. That is crazy. So these have been watered, so the soil is nice and moist, so it does break apart really well. So basically, I'm just coming in and loosening up the soil, and I'm pulling them apart. So, oh my gosh, the roots are just long. So I'm gonna put a little bit of this Pro Mix back in the original cell. Putting those roots down in there, and I'm burying them a little bit deeper as well. I'll show you guys that on the next one. And just tucking them in. All right, so this root is going to get dropped down into a hole. Then tucking the soil in. Just dropping the root in the hole, just like I did with the echinechea daisy. Adding some soil on top, pressing it in, and all this kind of extra, I'm just gonna mix in with the rest. Okay, that's gonna be this process. This might take me a while, so I'm just gonna get all of this done. Also, my globe thistle, I think I need to replant this today. So I'm gonna put these in 4-inch pots and do these as well. So I'm gonna get this started. This is gonna take me a while, and then I will show you once these are transplanted, the globe thistle is transplanted, and my mignonette is thinned. Okay, so I'm all done with today's projects. I ended up potting up 6 of these globe thistle. These are the blue ones, and these will be really fun to see grow fresh and maybe used for drying. These will be perennials in my area. So I haven't misted or watered these in yet, but I need to find a tray to put under them first. Let me move these off to the side. Then, honeywort. Thinned and transplanted this out. This is the whole new tray of transplants. Thinned and transplanted this, and I did thin this poor man's orchid a little bit. My tag went somewhere for that. But some of them, I can't really tell which is the best one yet, so I did like half thinning just by cutting them out at the base. Some of them were really leggy off to the side, so I just cut those out immediately, but we'll see how this grows on and then I can thin that. Additionally, I don't know where my tag went for that. Oh, here it is. Poor man's orchid. Okay, gotta keep things marked or I don't know what they are. So, I am really excited to have all of these projects done. Now these are going to get bottom watered and these will go back under the grow lights. I think I'm gonna start hardening my ranunculus off today. While they probably don't need it because they're going in the hoop house. The hoop house, of course, is not up yet. We're starting today. We're starting to put the posts in today. I'm so excited. So I'm going to be putting my ranunculus outside or in my greenhouse during the day and then just simply moving them back in here to the floor at night. So I will have that entire grow shelf free. So that is where these are going to go. And Yeah, I need more space, so this will be good. That's probably where the globe thistle will go. I have coleus and petunias that I need to pot up into 4-inch pots, so that is where those can go. And yeah, it's just all really filling up. I see one cell that I did not transplant now that I'm looking at this tray. Oh well. I'm really excited to have this done, and I cannot wait to see how this globe or this honeywort grows on. So anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing how I'm tending to all of my seedlings, and stay tuned for a lot more this spring. We'll see you soon.